Hi, today is April 1st, 2020, and I went on this trip in October 2018. On this episode, I'm going to show you when I went camping to Joshua Tree, and I went there because I was looking for Skull Rock, which I did find. And there's so many places in Joshua Tree to explore. I got so many pictures, and this is just one area. This wasn't even a major campsite. So, like I said, Joshua Tree right now is closed due to the coronavirus, and I actually went there on a 1 day photo trip right before everything like happened with the coronavirus. And as usual at this time of year, the entire campsites are all full, and then there's even people parking outside of the park. And that's just on one side. I mean, it's busy this time of year, but right now it's all shut down and no one is allowed there. And actually, a couple years ago, there was some more stuff that went down, and it was vandalized so bad. Like they vandalized it to the point where it will never be the same, like maybe in 300 years, but just basically never the same. What they actually vandalized the Joshua trees and chopped them up and stuff. I mean, who does this? This person is probably still alive just so they can be cursed. Like, that is like, re- I can't even imagine what kind of state of mind you would be in to be able to do something like that. I don't care what you've been drinking or taking. That is some craziness. So look at this one I zoomed in on. Some more faces. And I think it's funny that there's a lot of like faces squished together and heads squished together. And I think it's funny that they actually have a skull rock trail. And it's basically saying this one, you know, rock is Skull Rock, and the rest of these, I guess, they could have picked any one of them. There's a lot of skulls to look at in the area, and that's how Joshua Tree is. It, really actually lives up to all the hype, and I don't know if it gets a sunset every night, it possibly might, but the rocks light up and the colors are amazing, and the feeling that you get is, it's hard to deny it, even if you're a cold-hearted SOB that would go there to destroy. Like, that is, oh gosh, anyways. Unbelievable. But the rocks there, one of the reasons people get lost is because it's very easy to walk around, and there's so many things to look at, and you can just, the next thing you know, you're in the wilderness lost. This looks like writing though. And then these little lines I saw look like teeth. And it just looks like faces of giants have been like lips and noses and mouths and stuff just sort of moved around. And even like these look like huge giant feet, or I don't know if they all got melted. It like turned into clay. Well, and then up here you can just see these look like the bottoms of some baby feet, like those toes and stuff. And I did a little teeny bit of research, but I'm definitely doing more. This is a close-up of Skull Rock. It's this weird, grainy, sandy rock. This is a picture of a fossil, a dinosaur fossil, and guess what? I don't see much of a difference. So, anyways, there's that. And they call this is a dinosaur fossil also, and I was just choosing some that looked like these rocks at Joshua Tree. They look, a lot the same, except they're on a lot bigger scale. And, I'm not the only one that sees giants everywhere because they named the place Skull Rock. So this is very clear and evident, seeing all the giants in the rocks. And a lot of them seem to have very bulbous noses. And I wonder if that was a characteristic of them. But they're all wrinkled and squished and smashed and crunched together, and they're really hard to deny what, you're seeing there. I definitely need to I've been a photographer since I was, in high school. I was I was developing my own film. So I've been a photographer for a long time. But look at this rock here. It looks like somebody drew it a long time ago or something. There's some like artwork that's so old you can barely see it. And this looks like the top of like Quark's head, from Deep Space Nine, the Ferengi, and just lots and lots of skulls. Hollowed out, like, they've just been there for so many thousands of years. And you can see a lot of like faces looking up into the sky and things like that, and everything just glows, and it's just an amazing place. It really does live up to the hype, and there's so many different places. Like I said, this is one of there's endless places there. There's something really special going on here. It really is. And if you want to, well, right now you can't get a booking there, but it's worth the trip. And I got up very early in the morning, not early enough, but I got up early to take some pictures, and I started wandering around and noticing things on the ground. And I saw this face that I wanted to go explore. And, yeah, there were these two birds around, these two black crows that were kind of like checking me out. They were like up on top of the face, and I was getting closer and closer, just taking pictures. And then I realized like these birds are throwing these rocks at me, and they're like banging down the side of the thing. And if one of them hits me, it could break my camera or like knock my tooth out. And I thought it was kind of cute, though, in a way. They were really bold. And yeah, they were letting me have it for sure. But anyways, I had to back up and walk away for my own safety. They were using tools, though, right? Weapons. I mean, it wasn't an accident. They were throwing them at me. So just more exploring, shows a lot of like, you know, rocks look strange the way they're put together and organized. And this one reminded me of an Anunnaki for some reason. Just, with a little elongated head thing there, a little skull just sitting there, and, just lots of skulls. They're hard to, avoid seeing them. They got the eyes and all the features that you would expect a skull to have. And I did see some interesting animals while I was there. Bunnies, squirrels, and I got a picture of one of the animals, but I was not able to get a picture of the fox that I saw that was like dark brown and black. It was really cool, but it ran in front of me, and I, of course, always have my camera in my hand, but it was too fast. I fumbled with getting my camera and it was gone. But, it was really cool to see that. And then the other animal that I saw was really cool. The way that started was I was hearing this bird making all kinds of noise. It was an angry bird for sure. So we started going off trail and following the sound of the angry bird. And then we came upon the reason that the bird was so angry. And this bird was just yelling and yelling and yelling and screaming. It was like a bluebird, and it was yelling and screaming at this old tree. And there, hidden in the old tree, was this very calm owl. And he was the coolest thing, one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And I think it's great to see wild animals in nature and just to leave them be. Maybe check them out, but don't bug them. And this owl really didn't want to be bothered, although the, bluebird was really calling him out. And then there's also this skull, looking, lots of skulls again. And then this slab that's been cut in half, and some, newcomer probably put the stones on top, but it was just really weird the way that the slab, it looks like you always wonder when you see a slab what went on there. And it's just huge, it just seems so strange. But that was an interesting, there's just all kinds of, I mean, a photographer's dream there, all kinds of little nooks and crannies and holes to look through, and the way the light will come across things and make rainbows and light orbs. That's what photographers are looking for. And if you're looking for mysteries or strange things that are unusual, you can find them there too. But it's really, I think, important to just leave things untouched, and don't litter and don't vandalize, and you'll get bad luck if you do. Don't hunt and don't throw things and yell and scream and be obnoxious. I mean, you can do that, but just don't be foolish. This looks like a woman, this looks like something. And I just think it's really interesting, the hole in this, you call it a creature, in its head, with the elongated snout thing. And just skulls squished together, like maybe in a last minute, you come together with all your loved ones and you're all scared, huddled together in a group, and then you just kind of get mushed and smushed together, and over thousands of years, you look like this. One of the things that this location is known for is the mastodon, and I didn't get the best pictures of it because it's so big, but it's coming up and you can see the what is it, its trunk, the rolls in its trunk, and it just comes down. It's really huge, hard to fit it all in the camera. Not able to really do that very well, but like I said, I've been a photographer for so long, and I really need to make the switch into doing videos, and it's hard for me to, it's almost easier to train somebody to make videos that hasn't, I'm not saying I can't do it. I'm saying that, and then the videos I have a little bit of trouble holding still, and they're just like, I was watching this one video I made, and all of a sudden, I, I had to get up, and I thought I was going to throw up, but I didn't know why. And then I realized, oh, it's my GoPro. You can't, I can't post them for long, but coming up I will be adding more video in there, and I'll try to keep it mixed in with some photos so that you don't get nauseous. But this is obviously a giant head. I mean, hello. And then, you've just got lots of strange, I thought it was cute the way the little tree is going sideways out of this thing. That was cool. And then this rock looks like, the sides reminded me of the Hopis, the way the women do their hair, or a lot of times with the Kachinas, they have those things on this where their ears are like, I don't know what they are, and I've always found those interesting. And then I found this cement rock thing, like what was that? And dirty teeth, I don't know, they look like teeth. But there's also a lot of strange rock stone steps and stuff that I just don't think that the national park made them. I think that they were already there. But, I don't have any way to prove that or deny that. And then again, just this reptilian looking textured rock skull. And it's just more stone skulls. I saw lots of lizards, and it was very good to see wildlife in the park. I mean, what would, the park be without wildlife? So leave the wildlife alone and don't feed them weird things that could cause them harm, and don't litter. That's all. And, don't vandalize. So here I am sitting amongst giant noses and teeth and chins and eyeballs. I also have this picture from Joshua Tree that I took a long time ago, and it looks a lot like maybe a pregnant Bigfoot in a high pony. And then from the trip and from the photos, I've mentioned that I am an artist. I do oil paintings, and I did these oil paintings from those photos.